G'day Spurs fans, Paul Hotspur Hippie here, the only psychedelic soccer show on the internet. Found a little spot here, where am I? Burns Bay, something like that. There's a little reserve here, but there's a fence in it, look. I suppose you could climb over it or something, couldn't you? But, well, what can you do? I'd love to report lots of sparkling new Spurs news, but I didn't even notice I did this at the time. My network is back at home now, which is good. And I did a stream, and I haven't looked at this year's fixtures yet. So I thought, I'll do a rundown of the fixtures. And I didn't even realise that, I just assumed that if you type in Tottenham Hotspur fixtures, Premier League, the ones at the top would be from kind of the current year. Ooh, falling rocks, watch out. But no, that was just a stupid assumption. So I went through the fixture lists for 23-24. I even noticed that Luton Town was in. I said, Luton Town back up. So I haven't looked at this year's fixtures list. So I think when I do a next stream, if I in a sort of semi-competent mood, I will do this year. Be an idea, wouldn't it? I've been keeping a one cursory eye on the Tottenham news, and as usual, we're being linked with everyone. We've been linked with Frank Spencer's dog the way it's going at the moment, and usually what happens in these windows is we always buy the people that we're not linked with, and sometimes they're a bit of a pleasant surprise. So I'm not saying it's all a bad thing. I'm finding it weird, the Mbumo one looks like Man United are trying to do a bit of a levy with Brentford, shortchanging them by £2.5 million, and Man United are saying no. But it's a weird one, isn't it? Because he's played for, being invaded by families now, he's been playing for Frank since, 2020, since they were in the Championship. So why doesn't he want to play for Frank anymore? Or how is his head? I suppose there's a few 100,000 reasons why maybe Manchester United have got his attention. Eze, still no news on that one. Could be Arsenal. Boo. But I don't know. It's journalism at this time of the year is atrocious. I'm sure it's the same for every team, really. Every team gets linked with everyone. Maybe people get their hopes up. I never really do, not very often. Probably not since the rumours were that we were going to sign Paul Gascoigne. But I got excited about a transfer, but that's how old I am. And you just go through and you just see who you end up with eventually. As I've been maintaining, I'm not busting a gut. We've got a team of winners. I think even seeing that lot play without massive injuries would be a huge improvement on last year. Sad news about, not sad news, but Crystal Palace. Of course, I hate Crystal Palace, but another example of just how money has absolutely knackered football. And you've got to feel for the Crystal Palace fans at the moment, being left in limbo, whether they can compete in Europe, just because one of their shareholders, John Textor, his name's spelt weird, doesn't look like a normal name. Reminds me of that film Manhunter. I think that was the first film to have Hannibal Lecter in it, and I remember they spelt Lecter in that film. I think it was Lektor, something like that. So when I see John Textor, and I'm assuming the only other place I've heard that name is in relation to really dodgy PR companies and political hacks. So it's probably a nasty bit of business. He's a greedy sod because he owns a bit of Lyon and he owns a bit of Crystal Palace. So unfortunately, the rules say you can't own two teams in the same competition. They seem to bend that rule at UEFA from time to time. I know there was a case, was it last year or the year before, where they made an exception, but why don't you just own one club? Just own one club, mate. Why do you need more than one club? What are you trying to prove? a football empire. It just, you know, the money comes into the game, and they're not doing it for charity. They're not doing it to be humanitarian of the year. They're just doing it to milk people and make a quid. So it's unfortunate if Crystal Palace don't get a chance to play in Europe. I don't know why I'm so into it, but I just don't like injustice. Free Crystal Palace. Anyway, sod them. We're in Europe, unless Daniel Levy's bought some bloody club on the quiet to build a casino next to. Absolutely bury another club by just having like this big business Borg appendage on it with a little football team by the side. That's the way it feels to me at the moment. But hey, look, when we get going again, I just care about the football. So I'm going to have a little whinge and a moan from time to time when there's no football played, and about the state of the club and all that sort of stuff. Rumours coming out that we've run out of money or cash, but I think that story comes out every year. The only year I remember that being different is when it was the £150 million war chest, where Enoch did a sort of equity water down or something like that to bung some more money into the club. But apart from that, the usual story from Tottenham Hotspur is we've run out of money. Does it really make other teams put the price of their players down? Hey, what do I know? It don't look like it though, does it really? So we got a friendly, an extra friendly against Luton before the end of July. So we haven't got long to go, folks. We can just hang in there a little bit further. And it's not bad. It's a good set of friendlies. Remember that awful set of friendlies we had a couple of years ago, where I think the one in Thailand was stormed off. We had bugger all preparation. We still finished 5th that year, so I wasn't bad. But I think this year looks nicely balanced. You know, we start with Luton and Reading, so a couple of easy ones, you'd say. And then we start getting our blood pumping before playing Bayern, München and Arsenal. And PSG, who I really hope win the World Cup. I haven't been following it, so they might have been knocked out for all I know. But I want them to win because they'll be a bit buggered, a bit leggy, a bit knackered, but they'll be world champions, and then we'll beat them. So you can just say Tottenham Hotspur, by far the greatest team the galaxy's ever seen. I'll try and wander around and avoid people here. What other rumours did I see? Same old stuff. It was, you know, there's people sniffing around. If you read the press, there's people even sniffing around Vuskovic at the moment, which, I mean, what do you do? All of our players are leaving, apparently. Sonny's leaving, Romero's leaving, Richarlison's leaving, Vuskovic is leaving. Everyone's going. That's why I don't bother getting sucked into it too much. But, you know, when you wake up, you're bleary-eyed in the morning, and you just think, oh, let's have a look for Tottenham Hotspur news, just to see if anything's bloody happening. You do get all the crap in there as well. Anyway, I'm going to see if there's a bit more of an exciting place to walk around than a car park. Till next time, peace and love, man. Peace and love, and come on, you Spurs.